What's up, everyone? Welcome to another video of Storytime with Nehoe. So, let's say there's this girl named Sandy and this boy named Nick. And no, I'm not Nick. I'm Nico, or as Blaine calls me, Nehoe. I've been best friends with Sandy ever since the 3rd grade. She would literally tell me everything. Heck, she even told me that her stepdad would rape her. Anyways, that's not what I came to share. All 3 of us work at Kroger, you know? Well, I've been friends with Sandy for almost 10 years now, and I've developed feelings for her. See where this is going. I so wanted to tell her, but I just couldn't find myself to do it. Like, I am one of those people that have a hard time trying to tell people how I feel. I'm not that type of person, and then sometimes all the emotions just bottle up and blurt out, so I didn't know what to do. A few weeks passed, and Sandy kept telling me in physics that Nick and her have been texting. Apparently she tells me that Nick just texted her that Nick said he loves her. Of course, the day I was going to tell her, actually that day that I liked her, but it just didn't seem like the right time. Not only does Nick like her, but so does, let's call him Cody, I guess. Cody just doesn't like her, but loves her. Sandy emphasized that to me, obviously. Not only did Cody love her, but so did Matt, whom is my friend at work. Of course, all these guys work with us, so oh, they all have the hots for Sandy. I will admit she's pretty hot, but I'm not in it for the hots. So I'm more in it for like she's a great person. Like she's like no other girl that I've met before. Anyways, Nick asked Sandy what locker number she has at work and the locker combination. Sandy didn't remember what her locker number was, but she said it was like one of the blue ones in the 200. She didn't really remember what exact locker number. The next day, Sandy told me Nick bought her flowers and put it in her locker. They started, and of course, later Nick showed me the true guy he was. Now, I don't know. I don't remember the entire story, but I do remember one thing. Nick would tell Sandy who to hang out or talk with. Nick didn't like Sandy hanging around other guys. Yeah, he was one of those type of people. So one day, Sandy told Nick that Cody was in love with her, that she was worth waiting for. Well, Nick and Cody were out on cards together outside from Sandy didn't know what Nick was going to talk to him about, but I mean, I was inside with Sandy at that time, so I didn't know either. I wasn't on cards, I was just bagging at that time. Anyways, the next hour, Cody wouldn't talk to her. He wouldn't even look at her. Sandy didn't like how controlling Nick was. She wished he would have just talked to her about it. Just like any girlfriend would, right? Now what happened after is a bit foggy to me. Like, I don't remember every single detail, but I do remember this. I mean, of course, who wouldn't forget it? Like, it's just something that you don't forget about, but you try to forget about. Anyways, one day at work, I was at my locker, and my friend Matt told me that Nick told him Sandy and Nick fucked 4 times. Matt being friends with Nick and all. He even went into greater detail. Like, he asked me if I wanted to know, and I was like, sure, I mean, I guess. I regret this for the rest of my life. I wish he never told me this. Of course, I said I wanted to know, so he told me that Nick shoved his up her. I'm not gonna say the full thing. That at her, and she wanted him to stop. Um, just forget about it. We're just gonna move on. At school, I told let's call them Alexis and Emily. I just don't want to reveal their real names. Whom are my friends, whom are also friends with Sandy. Anyways, I told them what Matt told me. Alexis and Emily went on about how Sandy's aunt told Sandy that she isn't allowed at Nick's house anymore. They told me that Nick broke up with her afterwards. Now that's a load of bullshit. Nick told Sandy that he's having a midlife crisis and can't date anyone right now. Alexis and Emily kept telling Sandy that she needs to think clearly because they thought Nick was just using her to fuck, and that is the reason for the breakup. Is bullshit. I agree. Like, Sandy totally deserved better. You can obviously tell that Nick is one of those guys where he just, oh, I'm just gonna, oh, you wanna fuck, oh, it's a one-time deal, like one of those type of guys. So of course, a few days later at work, I saw Nick flirting with another girl at Starbucks. Of course, this was a girl I knew at school, too. Sandy found out, but for some reason, Sandy still loves him and can't get over him. What? A few days later, I found Nick and Sandy alone in the break room. And in the bagger's closet. It was just, like, it was really awkward. Like, I'm just not gonna talk about it. They were both in the way for me getting a cart strap, so I just stood there awkwardly, like, hello, I need a fucking cart strap so I can do carts. But, you know, Sandy just handed me one and asked me if I needed one. Just, like, I grabbed it and quickly ran outside because, yeah, I didn't want to stay any longer. The next day at school, she told me that Nick kept apologizing to her, but it was nothing. It took months for Sandy to realize what type of guy Nick truly was and forget about him and moved on. Thank God. Like, Sandy would not listen to her friends. Like, we keep telling her that this guy Nick is using you, and she just doesn't listen. Like, love just blinds us all, and we don't even think clearly whenever it comes to love. You see that in the TV shows, like, let's say, you know, for example, Barry Allen, when Iris was at risk of dying, Barry would do anything to save her. We would do anything for love. We want to feel accepted. We want to feel like there's someone out there that actually loves us for who we are. But Sandy didn't see that clearly until like a few months after they broke up. But anyways, in fact, everyone forgot about him. He got fired, and his mother sent him to boot camp. I hope that'll straighten him up. Yeah, I don't know what's going on in that Nick's head. I don't even want to know. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed listening to this drama-filled story. But there is a part 2. Yeah. And I hope I see you all in part 2 as things get a little more intense and emotional. So I'll see you guys in the next one.